Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
The earth is in the process of transformation. A separation, such as when a cell divides. Half will remain in the third dimension, the old earth, where there is conflict and violence. The other half will ascend to the fifth dimension, the new earth, where no negativity can exist. All across the world, there are internet content creators that are sharing new information to raise your consciousness and prepare you to ascend to the new earth. Join me, Naima Latif, every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Time, and we will introduce to you these voices of enlightenment. Grand Rising, I'm Naima Latif, and we're excited today to bring to you another voice of enlightenment, Wanda Carter. And she's got several shows using her YouTube channels to bring inspiration, information, and motivation, and above all, enlightenment. These are critical times, and we have to choose what voices we're going to listen to as we select where we put our attention every day. When we look at our cell phones, we turn on our computers, we turn on our TV sets, we even listen to our radios, and we've got to decide who's going to influence thought. Well, as the founder of CC News Media and Omnibus Roundtable TV and Woman to Woman TV show, Wanda Carter has been for over many years influencing thought and bringing in other thought influencers to give you a different spin on what we hear and see as news. It's not always what you think. So we appreciate the fact that Wanda Carter, even as she is en route and driving, is able to join us this morning. And we certainly appreciate the fact that you're with us too. So we're going to take a quick break and greet our global family who is joining us from all over the world. And we'll be right back with talk show host, publisher, and community activist, Wanda Carter. We'll be right back. So stay with us.
We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
need housing for the homeless. Because my little brother, in which we're doing this documentary for, Douglas Robinson, your death will not be in vain.
He was a heck of a great dude.
And I love Doug. Doug loved me.
Just being around him, he had a good spirit. He was a healing person.
They are there.
Get SROs back.
When you give to the poor,
should not be forced out of their neighborhoods when it goes through a period of transformation.
Because there are too many people who are losing their homes to taxes because they can't pay $1,000 tax bill.
And we're back with Wanda Carter, who has mastered the art of multimedia and bringing messages. And today she's bringing a message as to why those who have the media at their fingertips need to be more conscious of the message they're putting out, because we are influencing the world. Generally, when people get to the point where they are ready to use these media systems, they don't always have a vision of what they're doing and where they're going. But Wanda Carter, for the last several years, has been very diligent in being consistent with a message that helps us to realize we are responsible. When we have these media systems at our fingertips, we're responsible. We're responsible for the message that we put out, and we're responsible for how we interpret the news. So interpreting the news is what we do. And one of Wanda Carter's wonderful YouTube channels is Omnibus Roundtable TV show, and also featured on the World Wide Web and on cable TV networks, Can TV here in Chicago. She's brought some fascinating guests and has also expanded to include other hosts that bring us vital information. And one of the powerful things about Wanda is that she's also a writer and publisher of the CC News Media, Chicago Communicator newspaper. And through these organs, we hear vital information as well. I know that this is a challenge, especially because we often are up against people who are spreading disinformation, people who intentionally mislead or provoke fear. And so we'll show you this one of the clips that Miss Wanda Carter has offered. And this is an image of Dr. C. Crump, who was candidate for the 16th Ward Alderman. And one of her high points is that she brings us the candidates who are striving to win our vote and our trust. And this is an opportunity for us to hear directly and meet those who wish to be leaders in our midst. So let's hear from this candidate Dr. C. Crump, who ran for 16th Ward Alderman in Chicago. And she had events. Yes, and that was just one of many of the local candidates that Wanda featured in her publications as well as her programs. And we're going to take another quick break and come back and talk to Wanda about her show Woman to Woman, which was a vital platform in giving women a voice and giving us an opportunity to talk about those difficult situations that only women understand, and to perhaps even inspire our daughters by being forthcoming with the very sensitive topics, relationship issues, financial issues, and those things that women handle sometimes by themselves, childbearing issues. Woman to Woman. We'll be right back after this quick break, so stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back with more of Wanda Carter joining us as she speaks Woman to Woman. We'll be right back. So stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. And we are back reminding you to join us tonight for the on-air daily news hour. Every evening, we present to you news that you can use, news that is not the same old gloom and doom that keeps you frightened, keeps you feeling helpless, and keeps you feeling like you don't have the power to change your condition. We bring you news of people that are making a difference in the world, a positive difference. And we like to bring you those who do the same. Now, of course, Wanda Carter has been one of those media collaborators and partners that have worked with us over the years and has maintained that level of integrity. Because when you're speaking truth to power, when you're exposing corruption, you need to have credibility. And that's what we look at when we invite our media partners to come with us and make it possible for us to show the world what is really happening. And we're excited because we're having other communicators to raise their standards as well. So Wanda, we are once again.
Thank you, Naima. How you doing?
Oh, I am just fantastic. Yes, I am. So wonderful to hear your voice.
I'm so glad that I was able to get in. I've been having trouble trying to get in.
Yes, we appreciate you being with us. And we know that you are, of course, wheeling and dealing out there this morning. But we're excited. And, you know, we've been sharing your work with Omnibus Roundtable TV and many some of the candidates that you featured on your shows and in your publications. So when I first met you, you were, you know, fiery community activist, one of the things with the youth. And I know you do a lot of training of young people. So tell us about what motivated you to get involved in the media and to train young people to do likewise, to empower them with a voice and to give them the skills. What inspired you to do that?
Well, I think my inspiration came from the fact that I have adult children that have children, and working with my grandchildren and seeing them in the community working with other children, I just had this insight to just do something in terms of trying to work with children. And they have to do homework. And so working with the children to help them write journalism, you know, help them speak, tell their side of the story. That all stemmed from my family. And then I met Mr. Carter some years ago. I think it's been about 30 years now. And he was doing the Morgan Memo. And then I started assisting him with that. And then once we got together and we married, he was who you saw and I was what you saw, because I was his technical director. And that's how I met you, Naima. He was doing your show. And so that just kind of all brought us all together. And so it's been a wonderful journey. I've done some work with many different organizations in terms of training youth to do production and or just to learn how to write, use proper grammar, proper punctuation. And so my dissertation was in trying to help seniors and disabled adults learn how to maneuver the internet and social media, and having being able to do their banking and shopping, etc. And so I've kind of like worked with both ends of the spectrum, the youth and seniors. And because I'm a senior, so of course my interest is in making sure that we can do all the things we need to do. And today everything is digital. So if you're not able to do something with the internet, you're going to be left out. You're going to be left out. And so, yes.
Oh, yes. Well, that's really critical that you are working with seniors. I have seen so many elders just really frustrated with trying to do little things like electronic banking or figuring out emails and text messages, because none of these things were around when they came of age. And it seems so overwhelming to many of them. And now, because our financial institutions are tied to electronics, you can easily, and some of them have gotten scammed out of money, had people go to their bank, and all kinds of things that happen simply because they don't know. So you're empowering them with the feeling that they can do this, they can master this.
That's
a critical thing.
And most of our seniors, because they don't have that background, they have to wait on their children, adult children or grandchildren to come and help them to understand how to go on the computer some of them even how to use their cell phones, because today our cell phones are just like I'm using mine. They're little computers, and you can do anything with your cell phone, as much with your cell phone as you can with a computer. So they have to learn that, and it's great, because one of the features that I was working with the seniors on was telling them how to contact or stay in contact with other family members that may be in other parts of the country. And so initially, I worked with them on trying to teach them how to do the conferencing. And now we have Zoom, so the conferencing is done through Zoom. But many years ago, that Zoom didn't exist. And so we had to use other forms of communicating with people. But I showed them how to do that so they could talk to Grandma in Yazoo City, Mississippi, or they could talk to Auntie Jody in California. And they didn't have to worry about raising enough money to buy gas or take a flight to get there. So it's been quite a journey, but I love doing this. I love working with the children. I love working with the seniors, and anything I can do to promote that, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
That is critical, because a lot of people really need that help. And like you say,
Yes.
if they don't understand it, they got to wait for their adult children or grandchildren to help them out. Sometimes children aren't the most patient people in the world.
That's right. I showed you that, Grandma, 3 times.
And then a lot of times seniors are struggling with eyesight, hearing, and all of that. So they, what'd you say? Or, I can't see this. My glasses. and young people get so frustrated with that because they haven't been there yet. Live long enough to be there. And speaking of age, of course, I'm grateful that today it marks 66 rotations around the sun for me. And
happy birthday!
Wanda for my birthday!
Happy birthday, Naima! You are such a beautiful lady. You have such a beautiful personality, and I really just admire all the things you're doing. You are just doing so much. you got people all around the country on your show. I love it. I just love it. And you keep up the good work. And aren't you doing a garden too?
Yes.
You're doing gardening?
Love it. Every day at 10 a.m. you can see me live on Facebook and our on-air radio network and our Facebook page, the online network of Associated Internet Radio Hosts. We are showing people how to grow their own food and to recognize the food that's already growing. A lot of these plants that we called weeds when we were growing up, I'm researching and finding out these are things that our grandparents had the wisdom and knowledge to understand how to heal us. And see, that old people are good for something.
That's right. That's right. And we have to learn how to take heed from them and learn how to grow our own food. And I agree with you. And I have a house now, and I'm trying to start some plants on the inside, some peppers, some tomatoes, and cucumbers.
Oh yes.
That's what I'm trying. So I'm excited. Maybe I get to come up where your garden is at and check it out and see if maybe we can see. Do you have youth working in the garden with you?
Not yet, but we're gonna get there, because right now I'm going through the preliminaries, preparing the soil, seeing what's there. I showed how to make a few dishes of some of the plants already there, like burdock and all of this stuff and stuff. When you grow on a lawn in the city, we're getting rid of them weeds. But I knew how to cook up them weeds and make it taste good. And this knowledge we got to get back to. So I made sure I send you the link to the shows if they were at live.
Okay.
But every time you see it, and that's one thing. I'm gaining more respect for the aging process, because there's so much lost knowledge that our grandparents had. And when we came up here north and got cityfied, we thought all that stuff, that's old fashioned. But it worked. It kept us healthy. And
that's right.
Spending at the grocery store,
And we wasn't sick. We wasn't sick like we are today, because we are eating we're eating everything. And back then, our parents probably only ate meat maybe once a week or twice a week, if they ate it at all.
Yeah,
if they ate it at all. So
we
were vegetarians. We were vegetarians.
Stuff. Yeah, they knew how to cook up them collard greens and mustard greens, salads and all kind of stuff.
That's right.
When we lived that way, we lived longer and healthier.
Yes, we did.
We had some unhealthy habits like smoking and somehow,
right,
hoodwinked into thinking, oh, that's cool. Let me puff on a cigarette. So that killed a lot of our lungs, and then they pushed that sugar on us with the commercial.
Yes, and the salt and the salt,
salt and everything. So that diabetes now. So, but we can reverse those things if we go back to eating out of our gardens. We can reverse every single illness that we have acquired.
And that's what I love about your show, is that you're always telling people what they can do to reverse their conditions. And not only physical conditions, we have mental conditions and emotional conditions, all derived from what we eat and don't eat. So yes, you're right. And anything we can do to help people understand that diet and exercise are the most important things that we can do in our lives to stay healthy.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm learning that the hard way, because I'm 75 and they say I have diabetes and high blood pressure. But guess what? I'm finna get rid of it.
That's right. That's right. We are getting rid of all of those things that have slowed us down, and we're going to reverse all of those habits that we learned from parents that didn't know better. They really didn't know any better. But we are grateful to be able to do something different. And
Absolutely.
Now that we know better, as they say, now that we know better, we can do better.
That's right. Absolutely.
We're going to take another quick break and come right on back. And then we'll talk about woman to woman. And what are some of those topics that are touching women's hearts that we've talked about over the years?
Thank you. Okay.
So we'll be right back. So
right back. Okay.
Peace and love. I'm Michelle Renee, host of Education Nation, live on the Female Solution Global Network every second and fourth Sunday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The intention of Education Nation is to raise awareness about the literacy crisis and to offer information to combat the problem. The goal is to awaken an army of reading coaches and mentors. You will experience guests who are doing their part in the community to ensure youth in their circles are reading and thinking critically. I look forward to serving you in this capacity. Literacy is freedom, and Education Nation will offer information and strategies to help ensure our young people stay free.
When you see Black children misbehaving in public, being loud, disrespectful, and destructive, do you think to yourself, what they need is a good beating? That's what's wrong with these parents. They don't know how to discipline their children. Were you disciplined in that way? And did your parents also call you stupid, ignorant, and lazy? That's the way you break a slave. You terrorize them with constant fear of painful punishment. You teach them they're powerless to speak up, and you insult them so they feel like nothing. We were broken by parents who were broken, by parents who were broken. It's time to end the cycle of brokenness and bring healing to ourselves and our communities by using knowledge, respect, and love. We'll show you how. I'm Naima Latif. Get the book Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma. On sale now. Go to www.naimalatif.com. And we are back, and we're going to bring back Wanda Carter, who is producer, host of Omnibus Roundtable TV, as well as Woman to Woman TV show. And she also produces CC News Media. And we are excited because she is continuing to grow and give voices to the youth, training them in how to use these multimedia systems. And because these systems emerge during their lifetime, they are so much more adept at this process. So, of course, Wanda, we know that you have been diligent in opening the door for some of those topics that are sometimes hard to discuss. Matter of fact, we've got a few comments here. We're going to bring on some folks that have something to say that they want to share with us today. And our sister Zelda from the Higher Learning TV Show and Monday Morning Mindfulness says, "Happy Earth Day, born day, Queen Naima. Thank you for being so you are always sharing and giving the best of your knowledge." Ashe. Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And she says, "Hey, Wanda. Get
Hey,
that
how you doing?
and we can all see the two of you together is off the chain." Success. Yes. And, you know, she's also doing an indoor garden. And that's what I tell people. You know, land is no excuse to not be growing food that you can eat. Always have some where you can feed yourself. So she's got some of those tower gardens. So food grows vertically, which is a whole new thing.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. That's nice. That's in the apartment. She is like a, okay, that's great. We got to do it. We got to do it no matter if it's in our apartment, outside of our apartment, in our little grass, you know, backyard or whatever. You got to do it. You got to grow your food. And that's a great thing. You know, women, as women, you remember when we started the Woman to Woman show many years ago, Naima, it was you, I, and Jean and Deborah and Sandra. And man, I mean, we talked about everything. We as women, we're involved in everything. There is nothing that exists on this earth that we are not involved with. So we started this show to talk about issues that we as women have in business, in life, in marriage, in relationships. We're just all over everywhere. But guess what? That's a good thing.
Yes.
If we're able to do that. Yes.
So we most definitely shape the culture, and we set the values, and we influence the children. And I tell women all the time, you know, if you see your children misbehaving, you got to look at yourself, because they're learning. They're learning how you handle.
That's right.
They're learning speech. So if they cussing, well, who taught
you know, they've heard it. They've heard it at home somewhere. Whatever their behavior is being modified or being generated from what their environment is. And so I talk to my grandchildren's teachers all the time, because I take them to school and pick them up. And believe me, this lady, she says, I don't know, but I can tell when there's something going on at home because of their attitudes and their behaviors. That's so true. So true. And we as mothers, we know that we have to work with our children to make sure that they understand that they have to be diligent in taking care of things that they're supposed to do. Get in, that's closer. I'm picking up one of my students now.
Hey, student.
So say hi, Bobby. Say hi.
Hey, the leader of the world.
Yep, student of the world. So now we're going to pick up my grandchildren, and I'm taking them all to school. So I'm glad that you were able to accommodate me on the phone.
Yeah, well, Steve, you know, and this is good. People seeing you, grandma in action, doing that work, and that's really what helps our communities maintain stability, when we're actively involved in our children's lives, because they hear our wisdom. They need to hear the little stories we tell them about how things were when we grew up and what we overcame. they need to hear from us so they have an appreciation
Exactly.
of living in now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what they have as privileges is because of things that we had to work and make happen.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. And remember when you taught at that school name, Betty Shabazz?
Yes, yes.
That was a wonderful experience. I'm sure that was a wonderful experience. And you're a good teacher. You're a good teacher. And
I enjoy teaching.
Learn a lot.
And I must give great shout out to Betty Shabazz. I look at the minds that they shaped, the pledge that the students said every day, and you know, they had fists in the air saying, we are preparing leaders and workers to bring about a change in our people. You know, we stress the development of bodies, minds, souls, and consciousness.
Yes.
Wow. You know, you saying stuff like that.
I love that. Yes.
That's what touched your heart. And all of those students over the years that thrived, when I run into them on the street in different places, you know, they're doing dynamic things. I'm grateful that my daughter went there throughout her school experience and just became a dynamic woman of the world, you know, traveling all over the world, speaking different languages. And
that is so beautiful.
Yes. So I'm like, seeing that this what you say to children matters.
That's right. That's right. And it does. It does. So, because we shape their opinion about things, you know, and their exposure to the various environments is what helps make them who they are. So we have to give them that exposure. You know, they have to know that this world exists and how it works. That's you know, right. They're going to be the next politicians. They're going to be the next presidents and business owners. So they have to know what it takes to do that. And it's our job to make sure we show them that.
That's right.
And I always tell these children, you know, you have to be respectful, because if you don't be respectful, nobody's going to respect you. Ooh. So if whatever you want, you have to make sure that you are able to communicate that, but in a way that does not demean or diminish someone else. Absolutely. And so and that's where we got to teach our children, because today our children are, you know, they watch all these violent movies and listen to all this violent music and all, they want to play with the guns and I don't even buy guns at the store for my grandchildren, because I want them to know that, you know, that's not what you should be trying to play with. You know, play with something that's gonna teach you something. How to be do something. How to, you know, I asked them.
Be an astronaut or something. You know, it's something uplifting. I never thought about that until I got grown. How is a gun a toy? You pretending to shoot and kill somebody?
Come on. That's what they're showing on TV. It's almost like they're molding the children to violence. They're molding them to violence. You know, this is all they see. This is all they hear. Kill that so-and-so. Shoot that. Cut that. Come on. You can't. It's more to life than violence. And we have to teach them that it's more to life than violence.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes. And I look at some of the people that are being held up to our children to admire. And we really got to have conversations. And I'm glad you're working with young people in the media so that they can see the power of using
communication. Yes.
To shape thought. When you put an image on the screen, it's like you're saying, this is a good thing to be. You know, this is the person who's famous for doing this horrible thing. And so now people look at that, oh, that's cool. Let me do that. And if it's something destructive,
they don't know. Slam it.
They don't know. They don't know. So that's why we must set the example. And I'm so glad you have been doing it. And we've got another comment here.
Okay.
Viana says, Grand Rising Queens, thank us for continuing the conversation and the work. Yes, Viana joining us from Florida. Yes.
Viana, how you doing?
Yes. So we have really had a chance to meet
inside
with some powerful women. So we're gonna take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll look more at
I'm on the phone.
how
Go
women
ahead.
are influencing this world by the
That's right.
choices we make. So we'll be right back, and you all stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Leaders of nonprofits empowering worlds. Let's go.
But the vision that God gave me, I felt that it was time for me to step out and work on the vision that God gave me.
We need look no further. We have a unique voice. We have a unique talent pool.
Now you know I'm on the phone.
Welcome to Master Force with Mushim Suit. Join us each week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central, live on Facebook and YouTube on the Female Solution page, as we dive into powerful topics designed to assist you in mastering your life force. Our conversations feature a diverse lineup of experts, all dedicated to your growth. Tune in weekly to discover new ways to elevate your spirit and raise your vibration. And remember, we are ascending.
Father, forgive us. Can you have mercy? Please have mercy on us. Please have mercy on us. We repent of our sins. Won't do it again. Deliver us from this evil, chosen people. Please have mercy on us. Please have mercy on us. We repent of our sin. Won't do it again. Deliver us from this evil, chosen people.
And we are back. And those are a couple of our co-media presenters. And, you know, we've all been out here in the trenches a while. Deborah, of course, you know, her show Move Around with Deborah every third Saturday. And Jean Yanaya has joined us. She's on every other Monday with her wonderful show that brings some spiritual enlightenment. So all of us who have had the urge and been with you throughout Woman to Woman, we've been on the Woman to Woman show with Wanda, all of us know that using this medium is a responsibility, because what we say and what we do, it does shape the world. And as women, our image, you know, we've had to really struggle to make sure that we present a dignified women's image of women to counteract what is being put out there. So much decadence, and sometimes it's really a challenge to influence young women. What do you say to young women who might be straying away and being negatively influenced by some of the media images of young females that they might be influenced to try to follow? How do you steer them towards the positive?
You know, try to invite them on our shows, try to encourage them to look up and look to women like Michelle Obama, you know, women that have done really keen, noble things throughout their lives. And, you know, I try to introduce them to women that are doing something in their lives, something positive. I mean, most women, we have children, and so we're always trying to encourage them or motivate them to do things that we know they need to do. But my goal has been to try to bring them around women that are doing positive things.
It's positive. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because you're the influence that I want them to see. You know, Deborah's the influence I want them to see. Jane is the influence I want them to see. So I try to bring them around people that are doing something that I think they would be motivated to do, to follow.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
that's
yeah, we just have to establish those relationships for them, so
yeah.
that and then I try to encourage them to look at programs where women are the featured speaker, or where they're the ones putting the program together.
Yes. Well, you know, speaking of introducing, I met President Barack Obama before he became President Barack Obama.
Yes.
One of your shows.
Yes.
When you were with Omnibus Roundtable TV, you were hosting a political debate.
That's right.
He was running for Congress at the time.
That's right.
Bobby Rush and all of that. And so
those were the days, Naima.
Yes. And you know, and it was a good opportunity to see him as he is, see him on the way up, you know, striving to present a positive point of view. Now, of course, at the time, I, like many people, feel like, you know, hey, Bobby's my guy.
Yeah.
But that's cool, you know, because eventually what happened was what was supposed to happen. Ended up not winning Congress, but then running for Senate and winning that.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that was wonderful. And you have always had a lifeline to the elected officials, producing shows where they can get to meet the public and present their platform and be involved in debates and advertise on your media and all of that, so people can get to know who they are, which is critical because a lot of times local candidates, nobody knows who they are.
We need to do that with the judges. We need to do that with the judges.
Or what they do, unless you end up having to go to court.
That's right. Yes.
So
yes.
The fact that you expose those things, and like you say, you expose young women to powerful people that are doing things. A lot of women judges are really
That's right.
And they need to see themselves.
They need to see. That's right. That's right. Women police officers, you know, women senators. When it's been a while. When women have struggled really hard to get to where we're at, because even now, you know, there's still issues with women. I believe that last election, I just think they didn't vote for Kamala Harris because of her, because she's a female. I mean, she was the best qualified, but they didn't vote.
We need to learn the hard way. Okay, this is what happens when you don't trust a woman.
That's
now
right.
Just shit up about what you got because you didn't trust.
now you got what you got today.
Yes.
Can't hardly pay for gas. You know, you got food is gone up, everything is gone up. But he's over there doing what he's doing, killing people, blowing up stuff. I mean, we don't want to teach our children that.
Absolutely, we do not want to teach our.
We don't want to teach our children that.
Yes.
But that's what's going on. So they need to be aware of it, so that they need to know that's why we don't want them playing with them guns.
Yes.
We don't want you thinking about going somewhere and killing women and children. And I mean, because what's happening today is just,
it's horrible.
But it is horrible. It's horrific.
Well, that's why I believe that what we're doing is preparing young people to change the world from the way it is to the way it should be. So they got to see the horribleness of it, so they can make decisions that we don't want to live like this anymore. We have to do something different. So even when I see youth rebellion, I know it's the frustration of them feeling powerless, and so they end up doing negative, destructive things. But with people like you and programs that you have, training them to actually have a powerful voice and to feel like they can be heard in a constructive way, that'll deflect that negativity. And and when we give them a chance, we stick a microphone in their face and say, well, what do you think about so-and-so? Or they take the microphone and say, well, let me tell you about so-and-so. Or even when they perform and they speak their mind and they tell us how they feel, we can see some high intelligence in that. And we can see.
And our children are very intelligent. We just have to give them a chance. I even my 7 and 8-year-olds, I say to them, they want to turn on YouTube and look at all these wacky shows, you know, the stuff you can run over, stuff you can bust. I say, let me tell you this. Put on a YouTube show that teaches you a new word. So if you can tell me in the hour that you're looking at this program, give me 3 words that you learned that you can make a sentence of and define, then I'm going to give you $1. Do you know them boys? They'd be like, okay, I'm going to watch this. And they are able to come back with 3 words that they can make a sentence out of and define. But had they used that hour looking at the other stuff they had been looking at, they wouldn't have learned anything except for how to shoot a gun or blow up a tire or whatever. So we have to encourage them to look at things that will teach them stuff, not just stuff, you know, not just looking at anything, because that's what they'll do if you allow them. That's exactly what they'll do. So Naima, I think that it's very important that you continue what you're doing, because that's important too. And you're reaching people around the globe. And so I appreciate you inviting me on the show so I can talk to your audience.
Well, we appreciate telling our audience about you. And I believe I'll make sure that this is the location where they can reach your shows. One of them is youtube.com/it's Omnibus Roundtable TV show. And then for Woman to Woman, that's got its own YouTube channel, right? Is that
Woman #2 Woman TV show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then there's CCN News.
Yes, CCN
News Media.
CCN News Media. And can they go to ccnnewsmedia.com to get the
they can go to the website ccnnewsmedia.org and see the website, but the YouTube channel is youtube.com/CCN News Media.
Yes. So that's one of the things that we do, is to encourage people to go to those websites, go to those YouTube channels, go to those places where people are choosing to use the media to empower us with knowledge that we can use to transform the world that we live in. And I'm appreciative of all the work you've done over the many years. And we both had the experience of having our spouses be our partner in this work and them transitioning and going on home.
Yes. And then having to do what they did. We have to do what they did and what we did.
Yes. And
that's been the most difficult challenge.
That is the challenge. And you don't really know what it's like until you've been through it.
That's right.
But it does make you stronger, strangely enough, because you realize the power that you always had. And maybe you didn't believe you had it, but then when you had to have it, it was there. So
it was there. Yes.
That was definitely a life-changing experience that we both have grown from.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm grateful that you have joined us today. Thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you.
Voices of Enlightenment. And before you go, when is your next show where we can tune in and watch. I believe you're on a couple of days of the week.
Yes, right now I'm taking a course for foster care. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm doing that course, and I'm not able to do the show. But Thursdays, I'll do the woman-to-woman show. So tomorrow, I'll be doing the woman-to-woman show, and I will send you an invitation, and you can send it to some of your friends and peers, and we'll talk about what the next topic is. I'm not even sure yet.
All right, and you're on CAN TV at certain days of the week, correct?
I'm on CAN TV Wednesdays at 9:30 and Thursdays at 4:30.
Okay, fantastic. So for those people who are in Chicago, you can tune on in to the Cable Access Network channel and see Wanda Carter. And
Thank you.
we're certainly looking forward to all that you do.
Thank you, Naima. I appreciate that.
Make this world a better place. That's what
Yes,
we do.
ma'am. That's
All
what we
right.
do. Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a
Appreciate
great day. And thank you all for joining us. Come on back tomorrow. Oh, come on back tonight for the on-air daily news hour. One last comment before we go. Let's see. And she said, the violence is simply programming. Our challenge is to change. Our challenge is to continue to show them something different. Guns are a portal to jail. And great show, sisters. Yes, thank you very much. We'll see you tonight on the On-Air Daily News Hour. I'm Naima Latif. And until next time, continue to shine your light. We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.